Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Nicole and this channel is all about health, wellness, and designing your dream life. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you're sabotaging your weight loss. For a long time, I thought that there was something wrong with me, that I just didn't have enough willpower, I wasn't disciplined enough, I just needed more motivation, or I needed a new plan. I thought that I was struggling so much to be consistent with my workouts and be consistent with my nutrition plan, but all of it would fall apart. I wouldn't be able to stick with it. And I just thought that it came down to me, that there was something wrong with me, and that all of these really healthy and fit girls that you see on Instagram, that there was something different about them. As I delved deeper into my own health and fitness journey, I realized that I was sabotaging my own weight loss goals, and that this is actually just a very natural thing for us to be doing. When we sabotage our goals, it's just our brain trying to keep us safe. It's trying to keep us in our comfort zone. And every time that we try and make a change in our life, we try to break out of that comfort zone, but then we get sucked right back in. So it sometimes feels like we're on the wagon and off the wagon, or we're falling off track and we're kind of consistent for a little while, but then we revert back to our own behaviors. And this is simply just our brains and our bodies trying to keep us safe and trying to keep us in our comfort zone. And this comfort zone comes back to pain versus pleasure. So we want to avoid pain and move towards pleasure. So often eating junk food and drinking alcohol, watching TV, and avoiding exercise, those are all ways that we seek out pleasure. It's easy and it's comfortable for us to be doing that. But working out and eating only healthy foods, that can be really hard for us to do. It's more painful than just sitting around and eating junk food. So all it is just our brains trying to keep us safe and keep us in that comfort zone. And everything that goes against that is how we are sabotaging ourselves. So in this video, I'm going to be covering 5 different ways that we can be self-sabotaging and how to overcome them. And the more that you become aware of these things and when you're doing them, the more that you're able to catch yourself, stop what you're doing, call yourself out on it, and change your behavior to something that you actually want to be doing. Okay, so the first way that we self-sabotage is we overthink things. So one of the ways that I realized I was doing this was that I would make a plan to go to the gym after work. But then when it came time to go, I would think things like, it's going to be so busy, I'm not going to be able to get the equipment that I want, I'm so tired after work, I'm kind of hungry and would like a snack, but I don't have anything to eat. I'm not going to have a very good workout because I'm hungry and because I'm tired, so it's not even worth me trying to go. And so I make up this story in my head. I start to overthink. I make assumptions about what I think is going to happen if I go to the gym. And I make a decision based off of that assumption. So I assume that I'm not going to be able to have a good workout because of all of those different excuses. And so I decide based off of that assumption to not go to the gym. So this is sometimes called failing ahead of time. You just decide that it's not going to be worth it and you fail to even take any action. So this was a huge one for me, and if you find yourself making excuses, then this might be something you want to watch out for as well. So when you hear yourself starting to make those excuses, starting to overthink and make decisions based off of your thoughts rather than actual facts, then you can catch yourself, call yourself out on it, and choose to make a different choice. So in that instance, I could say to myself, well, actually, I don't know that the gym's going to be busy. I don't know that I won't have a good workout because I'm hungry. So I can go to the gym, I can see how I'm going to feel, do my workout, and then once I'm there, I can choose to keep going, or I can decide, yeah, actually today's not a good day for me, I'm just gonna go home. At least I put in the effort, I tried to go, and I didn't let my excuses stop me. The second way that we self-sabotage is comparison. So we tend to compare ourselves to other people that are on the same sort of journey that we're on. But where we tend to go wrong is that, like, say you're scrolling on Instagram and you see pictures of people and they look really healthy and fit and, they're going to the gym and doing their workouts and it just seems really effortless for them. That's only a small portion of the picture. We don't actually know what's going on behind the scenes. And we also tend to compare our day one, so where we are right now, with people who've been working out for 5+ years. So of course what you're trying to do today isn't going to be the same as the person that's been working out for 3, 4, 5 years. With this comparison, I also see a lot of times people putting things down to other factors. Like, that person looks that way because she's skinny. She's always been that way. It must be her genetics. I have poor genetics, so I can't ever look like her. Well, what you might not know is maybe that person has been on this journey for 5 years and they used to look exactly like you. Maybe they lost 100 pounds and now they look fantastic. We don't actually know that. I'll often get comments on my videos where people will say, well, you look really tall, so of course you're gonna look lean. And those people have no idea what my background is, what my story is. They just see something and make an assumption that makes them feel better about themselves. Or it makes an assumption that somehow justifies their own behavior. So you think that you can't ever look like that person because of this reason, which means that you're not even gonna try. So focus on yourself, stay in your own lane, and compare yourself only with who you were yesterday. When I stopped scrolling on Instagram and stopped looking at other people and focused solely on how did I do yesterday and how can I do better tomorrow, that's when the changes really started to happen for me. So I would highly recommend that you take your own progress pictures, you record how you are doing things now, what you're doing now, and how you feel now, so then you can look back on it in 3 to 6 months and go, I remember when I was in this place and now I'm here. I'm doing so much better than I used to be. And always just strive to be better than you were before. Okay, the third way that you are self-sabotaging your weight loss is that we're in the all or nothing mindset. So what this means is that you tend to say that you're gonna go all in on something or you're doing nothing at all. So the way that I see this manifest in a lot of ways is that we try and change everything about ourselves all at once. We try and change our diet and our exercise and our sleep habits, and we try to wake up earlier and be a morning person. We try and get rid of our coffee and get our 10,000 steps a day, like all of these different things that you're trying to change all at once. And what happens is that you try and do all of those things, you're trying to juggle all of these different balls, and then you start dropping them, and then you think, well, I wasn't able to do this, wasn't right for me, so I'm just not gonna do it. And then you stop doing anything at all, and you go right back to the negative behaviors that you were doing in the past. So the solution to this is just change one small thing at a time. And once you've nailed that small thing, it's become a habit, it's just part of your routine now, then you make one more small change, and then another one, and those things compound over time so that you are in a completely different place at the end of the year than you were at the beginning. So we need to stop having that all or nothing mindset and just make one teeny tiny small little change that you can maintain for the long run. Hey, if you're liking this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below. It really helps support my channel. And I'm uploading 2 new videos every single week, so you're not gonna wanna miss those. All right, tip number 4, the fourth thing that you're doing that's causing you to self-sabotage your weight loss is that we have a fear of wasted effort. And what that means is, again, it kind of relates back to this all or nothing mindset. We feel that we'll put in all of this effort and we won't see any results, and that we will have just wasted all of the effort that we put in. We see energy as this sort of finite resource, and we only have so much of it, and we sort of ration the way that we want to spend it. And I see a lot of the time that people will quit before they reach the results. And this comes back to being in that all or nothing mindset where you just go really hard, you put a lot of effort into something, and you end up burning out because you can't keep up with that. It's not sustainable. So you feel like you've put in all this effort, but you haven't really made much progress because you haven't been able to stick with it long enough to see progress. It's like the picture of the miner. There's like 2 tunnels. So one miner, he keeps going and he hits gold. And the other miner, he gives up just before he hits gold because he feels like he's put in so much effort that, there must not be anything there, so he's gonna go find something else to do. The other thing that I see a lot is when somebody posts a success story, they say, look, I lost 100 pounds. One of the comments that I see a lot under those success stories is, how long did it take for you to get there? People always want to know the time frame. How long did it take? Because you want to base it off of your own goals. You want to know how long is that going to take for you? And oftentimes the answer is something like over a year. And what I see a lot is that people will judge that as being, that takes way too long. I don't want to do that. I can't keep up with this for an entire year. And then they give up and revert back until it becomes painful enough for them to pick up these new habits all over again. So what can we be doing to combat this fear of wasted effort is, again, it's going to be that slow burn. So just doing one small little habit that's not going to take a whole lot of effort. It's just a little thing that you start doing. And then once that becomes easier, it becomes automatic, it becomes a habit, then you add something else in. And that way you're able to maintain these different things over time rather than trying to do everything at once, failing to do everything at once, and then reverting back and then just bouncing back and forth between being all or nothing. Okay, so the 5th and final way that you are sabotaging your weight loss is that we have this perfectionism mindset. So we want things to be perfect before we start. We want to start on the 1st of January. We want to start on the 1st of the week, the 1st of the month. We want to have the right time to start. We want to have the right program, the right workout routine, the right diet, the right workout outfit, the right shoes, the right gym. And we feel like we need to have all of our ducks in a row before we start doing anything. And if you wait for everything to be perfect, you're never going to start, because not everything is going to be perfect. You might feel like everything's perfect, so I'm going to start, and then you realize very quickly that maybe something isn't what you thought it was going to be, so then you stop and try to restart and line your ducks up again. And it's just, you never get anywhere that way. The other thing that I see that happens with this is that we tend to romanticize the outcome. So you might see somebody that has the kind of body that you want to have, and you can't wait until you have that, and you dream about having it and what you'll do and who you'll be when you have that type of body. But what we don't see and we don't consider is all of the hard work that has to go into getting to that outcome. So when we try and start our own journey, it feels very different than what it was in our head. It isn't nice and easy and beautiful like we thought it was going to be. It's hard work, and it's not perfect, and it's messy, and that feels very wrong to us, so we want to stop. We end up giving in because the journey doesn't meet up to our expectations of what we thought it was going to be like. So before you start on your own journey, have a goal in mind, but then also consider, what are the things that I need to be doing to get there? And visualize the effort and the hard work and the pain that you're going to have to put in to get there. You might have to sacrifice some things. You might have to exchange your 2-hour nightly Netflix binge for going to the gym. You might need to go to sleep earlier so you can wake up earlier. All right, so those were the 5 ways that we are self-sabotaging our weight loss goals, our health and fitness goals, and I hope that you found that really helpful. Comment down below, let me know what your favorite tip was that I talked about today. That's it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!